Hello everyone, my name is Adeyemo Adegbemiga Ganil and I welcome you to my new Yoruba Abrahamic YouTube video. Today we shall realistically and evidently explain what the term Negro or Nigger or Niger truly means of the mainstream teachings. Its 100% origin from the Yoruba people's indigenous and ancient people's identity, and why the biblical Yeshu or Yeshua or Eshu, likewise his people, were all being described as Omo Ologo of the same tribe, people of the knowledgeable, the teachers of that same tribe. If you are just joining my channel for the first time, please remember to press the like button, remember to subscribe, and let me share the videos. It will do me a lot of good and for the growth of this channel. So let's quickly dive into it. It will be a quick one. It all happened that in the ancient time, long before the Western explorer did flooded Africa for different exploration, either for gold or relationship, the Yoruba people were earlier as collective ethnic group, were known by just 3 different names that people don't refer to them anymore these days. Number 1 is Omo Ologo. Number 2 had to do with Omo Oluabi, while the number 3 had to do with Omo Ologo. For those who are not Yoruba, Omo Ologo is a title that signifies that these ancient, very Yoruba people, they stand as the early settlers of the world, the root of all the rest humanity. Like I said in my video, humanity started from Ile-Ife. That is my own claim, and I've proven it with different videos. If you think otherwise, you can bring your own evidence. Let's learn. I'm not challenging you to anything. Let's learn. Among Mosini, that is what I understand, and I've proven it. So it actually signifies that these Yoruba people are the first set of people who ever existed on earth, straight from Ile-Ife, and they start as the light that begin to shine upon the rest humanity from the world. Ibiti Ojumoti Mowa. That is what Omo Ologo basically means. The other time had to do with Omo Oluabi. I've made more references to this, particularly in terms of the one of that Moses. Omo Oluabi is another name that also still describes these same Yoruba people as collective ethnic group, as those who are born out of pure righteousness, are divine in nature, talking about how they respectively greet people, their obas, their kings, their elderly one, how they are naturally humble in nature, how they possesses the will to protect their dignity and being fair in their decision making when matters arises. As a matter of fact, these same Yoruba people didn't become righteous by learning it. They were born out of it. Their culture, their principles of life is a definition of what righteousness basically means. So they don't need to be carrying any book for religion or anything. If you really want to be righteous, by default, the exact way the Almighty has described righteousness, go and study the way of the Yoruba people, not the one that we've diluted with the Western culture, the ancient tradition of this is why our culture became what are all be written over the Bible, the Quran, as a thing for the world to understudy. And also why their righteousness was something that was started by an ancestor of them. I traced the ancestor to Ondo, one of the ancient Ondo, I think Ijebu, one of the ancient Ondo or Ijebu ancestor, who by his nickname is being referred to as Noah, Babati Omoluiwabi or something like that, and also now stand as the epitome of righteousness, which the heaven recognizes and validated on earth as well. So all of this signifies why the Yoruba people has a pure righteous way of life as a culture, not something they learn on earth. And for real, the general uniqueness or the great attribute of all these Yoruba people as a tribe or as a related group of ethnic individuals now became why they further dubbed themselves as the Omo Ologo. This is what Omo Ologo truly means. Literally, Omo in Yoruba means a child. But when whenever it is ironically being used in Yoruba narrative, it becomes people or group or even a nation. Ani means to possess, something you own, something like a thing, materialistic things or even qualities that can use to describe you. That is what Ani means. And Ogo, take note, Ogo means greatness or blessing. Omo Ologo leni yi. This guy is a blessed child. This guy is a great child. Yeah, the guy of Ogo. Omo Ologo. You understand? That is what Ogo truly means. It means you are a blessed child and your glory stand out of the rest. So, this naturally greatness of these Yoruba people since the beginning of time as a tribe and as an hereditary something led to why they now logically further addresses themselves as Ogo Adudulawo. Awa ni omo Ogo Adudulawo. Ogo, like I said, means pride or greatness that surpasses everyone around you. Adudulawo means a pride. How will I say it? It's like a pride for the global melanated creations in the universe. The Yoruba people existence stand as a pride for what the melanated people across the universe. This is why Yoruba land, or should I say Nigeria, remains the largest black Negro city in the world. And Yoruba space inside Nigeria, Ibadan, still became the largest black Negro city in the universe. It's all about the Yoruba people in breakdown. That is hands down. So the Yoruba people refer to them as we are the pride that all black nation or black individuals of the universe must always look up to. We stand as the forefront, and you can see in pre-colonial time and post-colonial time, the Yoruba people fronting for Nigeria, Africa, West Africa, Asian, bringing civilization to Africa, missionarism, civilizing tribe, teaching them stuff like that. First television for everything. Likewise, the Negroes in the US, the America, the Caribbean, they brought civilization there. It is a thing that is embedded in their blood. They don't learn it. When they meet themselves in tight corner, they still always find a reason to create something out of nothing. So that is what the Ogo Adudulawo, when you see one or two group of them, believe me, something magical will emerge of them. So take note, Ogo means greatness and blessing. And this also resulted to why you can see that Ogo, the term or the word Ogo appears in Omo Ologo and Ogo Adudulawo. Because that term Ogo resulted why we now have the term Anago or Nago, because that Ogo still present there. So when someone is being referred to as Anago or Anogo or Aniogo or Nago, you are still referring to the same Yoruba people from alternative use of word, because we were in Yoruba then. We were collectively known by these new names. And when the Portuguese first came to Africa through the Benin Delta region in the year 1472, being the first European, they first landed in northern Angola before the Benin, and so they twisted the term Anago to Negro. Likewise in Spanish as Niger, then Niger as we have it today after the 18th slavery event. So, and interestingly, this is exactly why the ancient Yoruba people prided themselves as the pride of the world. As the Yoruba people describe themselves as the pride of the world, the European as themselves, after twisting the term Anago to Negro, they still also define that word Negro as heritage of the world, heritage of the black people. Do you see it? So they are picking name from the Yoruba people, and they're also picking meaning from the pre-existing Yoruba understanding of that name. Where each time they see, they refer to the humanity, they refer to black people as people who stand as the heritage of all melanated people. This is what they give as the meaning of a Negro today, because realistically, humanity started from Africa. But logically and scientifically, everything, the whole civilization started from Negro land. This is why you can see Negro develop Europe, Negro develop America, Negro develop Africa, Negro develop. It's all about these same people. This is why they refer to them or define them as heritage of black people. So the Yoruba people being for the melanated in general of the universe. And as the ancient Yoruba people now hold the title of Omo Ologo or Omanogo or Aniogo as a tribe, their territory as well in West Africa also signifies that same Ogo or the blessed one based on their location. Because their territory in West African location too was later named after them, not the other way around. The modern day history oftenly try to make us believe that Negro River, the River Niger River Benin, was named that the Yoruba people were named after the river there. But whereas it is the other, the river was named after the inhabitants of those people who pre-existed there. Just like we have Indian Ocean. The ocean could have been named after anybody, but because the Indian were the one who are settling within the vicinity, this was why it was named as Indian Ocean. I hope you understand it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Just like the Yoruba people, like Ethiopian Ocean. Ethiopian Ocean, which is today's Atlantic Ocean, is named after the original ancient Ethiopian people, which are the Yoruba people. Ethiopian Ocean. And Negro River is named after those who dominated, who occupied the whole region. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. In a nutshell, the Yoruba people as Negro, Anago, and Nago, they uniformly dominated ancient West Africa collectively and uniformly thousands of years ago. Not until the non-Yoruba tribe from North Africa, Northeast Africa, because when we are referring to ancient Africa, is bigger than today's African map they gave us. Ancient African map covers today's Middle East. This is why the whole Middle East was more referred to as Northeast Africa. One way they shrink the size of Africa, and they even skills the black people because the initial black people that dominated North Africa are no more there, or they are just remnant, or their history has been overburied. So this is what you need to know. So after the fall of North Africa, the non-Negro people who are the Hamites or the Egyptian or some of the Abyssinians, some of them had to flee into West Africa for safety. And after coming to West Africa, they began to mix up with the indigenous ancient Yoruba people who earlier uniformly dominated West Africa, even take them in intermarriage. This is why, as a result of that, we now have diluted Negro Yoruba people. So today, it's easier for someone in West Africa to say, no, we are not Yoruba, we have our tribe. It's all resonating from how the people of North Africa, they mixed with the indigenous ancient Negro people. This is why ancient history collectively dubbed the West Africa as Negro land, because the Negro people start from Ile-Ife and Oyo, and our Yoruba people spread across. So the Yoruba people of today, they now sit culturally in between those that are pure Yoruba like them, just as the ghost DNA basically indicated that the pure blood ghost DNA today, they are 19%. The 19% signifies that these are the pure 100% Negro people that still uniformly marry themselves. While the other collective Negro people, they've either mixed up with those Amatite people that came Egyptian into West Africa, and some they don't even represent Negro at all. So we now have, in today's modern West Africa, we now have pure Negro, we now have mixed Negro, and also the Amite among them, leading to why it's no more justifiable to say that the Yoruba people still dominate the entire West Africa. I hope you understand this. For an instance, let me give you a very good example, that of the Hausa. The Hausa are said to be the largest ethnic group in today's West Africa, and linguistically and culturally, they still share certain attributes with the Yoruba people, and some prehistorical book even still classify them today as Negro family. But in real sense, I've made a reference to it in my Moses video. The father of the Hausas are Egyptian. That is one thing you need to know. The father of the Hausas, the mother of the Hausas is a Negro. She's a Negro. The father of the Hausa is an Amite in North Africa. Their mother is a Negro. She is a Yoruba woman known as Sabe, a woman from Ondo, whose father is Amushere. There is a history about that. Let's even go into a book titled The Flaming Torch in Darkest Africa by William Taylor, published in 1898. In that of 623. Please shout out to this guy, The Saint. I copy out this part of it, so I had to go and search for the book myself. But his video was what made me to see references to it. In this book, it is made that the Negroes are not Egyptian. So stop me. They are separate people. The Negroes, àwọn Yoruba, wọn kì í ṣe ará Egypt rárá. Even though some portions of them dwell among them temporarily before they fled back to integrate with their majority in West Africa. This book also made them know that people like the Hausas, they are partially Yoruba, they are partially Egyptian, meaning that part of them is Amite, part of them is Negro. This is exactly what is happening. But because it's basically telling us that the term Negro now has grade: first class Negro, middle class Negro, and non-Negro. Even though you now see Negro anyway, you should always understand that not everybody is a pure Negro, even though history might address them as Negro. And leading to why, even though we might be bearing Negro, our culture still stylishly look different, except some few majority that are still of pure blood Negro till today. Abrahamically, the Yorubas are the same people as the authentic Negro, just as the ghost DNA still classifies them as the 19% of the ghost ancestry left in West Africa. They are also known as the ancient Ethiopians, and also the ancient Israelites and the Jews. Even are also the occupiers of the river Ephraim, which is now better known, which is earlier known as river of the Omo Ologo, before it became river of Anago or river of Niger or river of, so Abrahamically they refer to as river of the Ephraim. It's a river of Omo Yoruba. They are the most ancient in that place. Therefore, when the families and relatives of Eshu in West Africa were being addressed as Negro teachers, the Bible is basically alternatively dubbing them as knowledgeable people of the Yoruba people from Yoruba land in West Africa. That is exactly what they mean. And again, when the Bible now also called the Yoruba land the promised land, describing the territory as the first place of where the Ephraim River, they are basically saying Yoruba land is the source of the promised land. Starting, I'm not the one saying the Bible is saying it, then stretch down to this river in Egypt. So this is where they are saying, this is where, because the Kush land in North Egypt or East Africa is owned by the Yorubas of Ijebu Alare, the Jebu Baka or Gebu Baka, Gebu Abi Jebu Baka, they are all the Jebu. Why the West African Yorubas, they are the Ifes. Ife is not a country or a land. It was a territory, an empire that stretched across West Africa, not a state that we have it in Nigeria today. So that is exactly what it all means. I will see you in my next video. Let me press the like button. Let me share it. Make your comment known respectively below. I will share debate later. Thank you everyone. Bye for now.